it is. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to my raza, and Merry
No,
Christmas Eve to everybody else. But
to only to Spurs fan and Spurs fan only.
yeah, there you go. Merry Christmas to Spurs fans and Spurs fan only. That's a good one. I gotta use that one. Good
Yeah,
morning to Spurs fans only on this
yeah.
Christmas Eve edition of the Area 2 podcast.
A big show today, man. It's gonna be
Mhm.
Spurs centric because you know what? San Antonio smoking on that OKC pack. San Antonio is the hottest
Bro,
team in the NBA right now, dude. Nobody wants
it's
this
wild.
smoke.
No, you want to see this team in a 7 game series. What's up, JP
No.
Perez in the house already? Good to see
What's
you,
up?
bro. Yeah, they don't want no smoke. We're gonna have a big show today. Of course, we're gonna talk Spurs, talk
A
some
lot of
holiday
Spurs.
stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
Spurs, a lot of Spurs. We got a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes
Hey,
to the
man.
Spurs.
My little Jalisco came in clutch today, dude. The little Jalisco I'll go to. We're here off of Marbach.
Oh yeah.
Right in front, you know where the Panchos used to be? They had the
Mhm.
Auto Max insurance and they
Mhm.
had that little Jalisco. That's
Yeah.
where I go and pick up my tacos in the morning. I went over there today, dude. They're doing the Lord's work, man. I went and got me my tacos, and then they're giving out little conchas, bro.
Oh, you gotta
Good.
love it, bro. You gotta love it.
Puro, bro.
I'm here
They
for
keeping
it.
it puro.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. What's up, Greg in the chat? I'm here for it, bro.
What's up, man?
You gotta love those. You gotta love those little Jalisco spots like that, bro. Those taquerias. They always take care of you, bro. They always take care of you.
Yeah, real talk, dude. I was like, damn. I was like, they go,
Yeah.
you want a concha? I'm like, say less. Why?
Yeah.
Does it look like I'm not gonna eat a concha? Come on. And then they
When
gave me
have
my
I ever
favorite
turned
one.
down?
Yeah, they
When
gave me
have I
my
ever turned down a
favorite one.
concha? Yeah,
Yeah, my
exactly.
white concha, dude.
Mhm.
Because you got different ones. You got the yellow one, right?
Yeah.
You got the white one. You got the pink one. You know, the brown one. I
Yeah.
like the pink one or the yellow.
Where the dreams don't fade from the river of night to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210. Oh, it's the life that we chose.
There we go. Rising together, Rick, through the highs and the lows. And today we're riding on the high, right? Good morning to who?
Spurs fans and Spurs fans only, baby.
That's right, man. We're celebrating a Spurs victory after the San Antonio Spurs beat the Oklahoma City Thunder by 20 points last night, man. It was a great game to see. Final score was 130 to 110. And you also have to look at the heroes, right, for the night. And it's been crazy because like in the 7 game win streak, like one of the players on the team has risen to the occasion, right? You've had different players come out and contribute, right, on big nights, more so than just Wemby, right? The focal point's always on Wemby, but the cast of characters that they have around Wemby now, I mean, they're flourishing. And one of those had a big night, and that was Keldon Johnson, 25 points off the bench, man. That was huge. I think he was one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons, San Antonio was able to go ahead and beat Oklahoma by 20 points, 130 to 110. They left no doubt in anybody's mind that, you know what? The silver and black are here, baby. They put themselves on the map. They told everybody in the NBA, we coming for that ass. You know? I mean, this was a hell of a game, Rick.
It was, man. It was. First of all, before we start, I definitely want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Merry Christmas for us Raza that celebrate today. Because a lot of we ain't
Oh,
waiting for Santa to
midnight.
come the next morning, bro. We ain't waiting for Santa to come the next morning, bro. Raza, bro, we popping them things open at midnight. Hell, I'll tell you what. We might do it at 10 over here because it'll be midnight in San Antonio. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? 10 o'clock Cali time.
With the
So
drink in your hand. With
but
the
with
drink in your hand,
exactly,
baby. Come on.
exactly, ready to roll, baby. So Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat. Merry Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to the locals are here since day one. JB Perez, Greg, Mario, Albert Lopez. July 9326. All the homies that are in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. Real quick, but yeah, again, from wherever you watch this show, like I said, I'm out here and not so sunny today, San Diego. It's kind of gloomy, but it's still warm. It was a little rainy yesterday. But Joe's holding it down off of exit 7, Puro exit 7. I'm
Yeah,
out on
man.
Marbach. Mike's out today. He's got some stuff going on. But again, everybody who's watching from Houston to the Austin or the Pacific
The Rio Grande
Northwest,
Valley,
the
RGV.
valley, yeah, the valley, right? Like all the way out, even overseas. So our guy Gerd, who's in here sometimes from the Netherlands. We have our guy from Mexico City that's in here sometimes, Tony. So yeah, man, much love to everybody. Much love to everybody out there in the chat and everybody that supports this show, and even everybody who doesn't get to watch it live on the chat. I know a lot of y'all watch it later, and people will hit me up later and say like, "Oh man, I watched the show. I didn't get to catch it live, but I watch it later." So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Myra. She watches it over and over. She puts it on her Tesla screen, and she watches it. She says she watches our show while she goes to the gym and she works out. You know what I mean? It's so
There you
she's
go.
a real one. She's a real one. But yeah, amazing game last night. A lot of the others that we talked about stepped up. Wemby is still on a
Yeah.
minute restriction, unfortunately or fortunately, the way you want to look at it. You know, OKC is the number one seed. They're the defending champs. They have a small amount of losses on their record. They only had one before the Spurs met them in Vegas. Two out of their 50% of their losses are to the Spurs, Joe. Right? They got four losses, and two of them are against our San Antonio beloved team. So um, it's a great thing. It's amazing to see our team grow. Like you said, Wemby, of course, is Wemby. There's not enough superlatives to explain Wemby, one Victor Wembanyama. But what's amazing is seeing guys like Keldon find their role. You know what I mean? Castle, like somebody pointed out in the chat, JHNSB. Too bad Mike isn't here because Castle was hitting threes, which Mike famously likes to say nobody improves and becomes a good
The
3-point shooter.
EFG
Castle,
percentage.
yeah, Castle was hitting threes. Yeah, I'm not a stat guy. I'll be honest. I'm not all that. Like I'm a gut feeling guy. So to me, I watch Castle. I see him knock down the threes. I don't know what percentage he is and all that. Mike knows that. Joe knows that. That's not my forte. What I do know is the kid's got moxie. The kid's fearless. The kid's got it in him. He'll go out there and knock down a three. You know, pack the rack and hit his little hezzy. The kid got it. So all that percentage stuff and whatever Mike wants to talk about, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, a guy like Castle is what you need. And of course, just like Tony Texas is saying, Keldon bringing the energy is huge. It's huge,
Yeah.
man. Keldon, he's the longest tenured Spur, right? Keldon is the longest tenured Spur, which is crazy. But he's been through it. He's been through the highs and the lows, like the way that our opening song says, right, Joe?
Yeah.
He really has. Like real talk. Keldon has been there from some of the dark days, and seeing him emerge as a bench role player who is thriving in that role. A lot of other players would have said, "Look, I was a starter here when things were bad. I will be the starter. I'm not gonna be come off the bench. Attitudes and egos come up. So come up. Keldon has none of that. Keldon is flourishing in his role on the bench. He hit what did he get 20 last night, something like that. And he's just bringing the energy and he's doing everything that the Spurs need him to do. So shout out to Keldon, man, for
Yeah.
not letting his ego or not letting something else get in his way of finding his role and still flourishing.
I think
So
that's the biggest thing to take away, right? If you're a Spurs fan and you look at this team, that there's no egos on this team. Everybody wants to win. The camaraderie behind the scenes is evident. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's happy for another player when he's getting a big night. The
mhm.
bench is doing their shenanigans, and it's fun to watch. Everybody's genuinely happy for the other. There's no animosity or any of that here. There's no egos. They just want to win. And this is a special time right now because we can all remember the days of old, when the Spurs weren't that great. They got David Robinson, changed the Spurs' fortune for the better. Biggest turnaround in NBA history from one season to the next. The rest was history. Yeah, there was some disappointments in the playoffs, but eventually what happened? They won the lotto. They got Tim Duncan. Ya está. The rest was history. They
Mhm.
became a dynasty. 20 years of excellence, 20 plus years of excellence. You're watching the start of a new Spurs, let's say, dynasty in the making here,
Yeah.
and this is something as a Spurs fan that you should be excited about because enjoy the ride. This is the start of something different, something new, something exciting, and I'm here for it, man. It's been a long time coming. I mean, we've gone through a couple years here of a drought. Spurs not being very good, man. Disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. They might not making the playoffs. They had to play in, and they got beat right away by the Pelicans in the bubble. But looking forward to what's happening right now. Enjoy the ride, and look at you wake up and you look at the standings, Spurs are number 2. They're only 3 games back of OKC, who is 26-4. The Spurs right now are 22-7. Only one game separates 2 and 3, which the Denver Nuggets are number 3 at 21-8. Spurs are number 2 at 22-7. If the Spurs can beat OKC again on Christmas Day, that'd be a heck of a present, because then the Spurs are inching closer to that number 1 spot. If you would have told me that this team would have been this good this early on, I would have said, man, I don't know what you smoking. But you know what? Yet we're here. We're here. So it's like, it's not a dream. The Spurs have kicked it up to another gear. And it's clearly evident, in the way that they're playing. And it's not just one guy that has to do it every night in Wemby. And I think that is a testament to how well the coaching staff and these players have been able to go ahead and, let's say, come along and evolve. Mitch Johnson has done a heck of a job as his first year here as the head coach. That goes unnoticed at times, but he's done a hell of a job. You got to give him his flowers, When you look at all the other players that are ahead of schedule right now. I mean, Dylan Harper, man. You look at Stephon Castle, and you got De'Aaron Fox. Like I said, man, that 3-headed monster right now, that's probably the best backcourt in the NBA. They are the best team in the NBA right now. They have the best record in the NBA for the month of December. They're on a 7-game winning streak. The San Antonio Spurs, and I know a lot of media hasn't said it yet, but I will, and I'll say it with my chest out. This is the hottest team in the NBA. Nobody wants to see the Spurs. They're scary. They're athletic. They play great team basketball. They're out there doing it on both ends of the court from an offensive standpoint, because they're putting up the numbers. But more importantly, they're able to go ahead and play you from a defensive standpoint and lock down the opposing teams. This is a well-rounded team. This is a scary team. And they're this good early on in the season. They can only get better. Can you imagine, Rick? What's going to happen when you start getting near the All-Star break? Man, I got chills thinking about it.
Yeah, this is the worst that they're ever gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst that 3-headed monster, 3-headed, what do you call it? 3-headed dragon?
The 3-headed dragon, the
3-headed
Hydra
dragon,
brothers. They're the
yeah,
Hydra.
3-headed dragon, 3-headed snake, tandem or triple team of Castle, Fox, and Harper. Like I said, this is the worst that they're ever gonna be. They're only gonna get better, right? Harper is coming, again, he's a rookie. He's had a couple of games of not a lot of points, but he's affecting the ball on steals, on assists and stuff like that. Castle is lighting it up. Fox is doing his thing. It's like you said, and I think something does got to be said about Mitch, and we got a super chat from Greg. We see it, Big Dog. We're gonna get
We'll
to it
get
here
to it.
shortly. We'll get to it shortly. Thank you for that. But Mitch definitely deserves some praise, because again, Mitch was put in a very difficult situation last year, tossed into taking over for the legendary Greg Popovich, that no one can fill those shoes. He didn't have his own staff. He was just he was a substitute teacher, right?
Yeah.
What do we do, Joe, when a substitute teacher comes? We act the fool, dog. We act
Misbehave.
the fool. We don't exactly. We misbehave. We don't listen. When a substitute teacher comes in, that's what happens. But no longer is Mitch Johnson a substitute teacher. He was able to formulate his own staff. Guys like Sweeney came in, big nasty defensive minded coaches, which I think also are huge pickups that aren't being talked about. The defensive coaching staff that Mitch was able to put together, kept some of the folks like Matt Nielsen, who's been with the staff for a while. So it was a mixture, right? Brett Brown went up to a executive role up in the front office, which is good. He's still in the organization, but he's not down there coaching no more. Which and again, nothing against him, but I think Mitch wanted some young blood, some new blood in the coaching staff. So I think that has a lot to do with this too. The players are responding to Mitch and his staff. So I think Mitch got a lot of criticism, and he still does, about some of his rotations and things like that. But you can't have this hot team. And like you said, Joe, 7-game winning streak, rolling the way they're rolling, beating the defending champs. And yes, it's the players. It's a players' league. I think at the end of the day, the players on the court are the ones who go out there and get it
Look
done.
at this play, Rick, by Dylan Harper, man. That's turning
Yeah.
defense into offense, man. Look
Yep,
at him.
yep, exactly. See
That
stuff like
kid's
that.
special, man. That kid's
Yeah,
special.
stuff like that. That's some Manu-esque type stuff, you know, and the kid's a lefty, right? A southpaw. So he does some Manu-esque type stuff when
He's
he's out
kind of
there on the court.
ambidextrous, you know?
He is ambidextrous. Yeah, he does attack with both hands, but he's a lefty, southpaw, but yeah, he can finish with the right just as well. Um but yeah, at the end of the day, it's a players' league. I think the players are deserve most of the credit when they're winning and losing, right? But at the end of the day, it all comes together in a package deal. And I've had this
Did you?
conversation with Mike. I saw
Yeah.
this guy. I saw this
It's
guy. This guy
crazy,
won
dude.
10 grand. This guy is not even a hooper. I mean, no offense to him, but look at the way he's shooting. And he still makes it, bro,
Oh,
which is awesome, dude. I love it. I love this. My son, we were watching this, and my son was like, he looks like he shoots like Sean Marion. You know what I mean? Like
the
he just
Matrix.
talk,
Yeah.
talk, yeah, no. And like, and my son was like, this dude ain't even a hooper. Like you could tell the way he's shooting. But I tell you what, he made that basket and he won that 10K. So that's a happy Merry Christmas to
Man,
that
right
guy.
there. You know what he
So
said? I'm not a
yeah.
hooper, but you know what? I made a $10,000 shot.
Exactly. I ain't a certified hooper. You could tell by the way he's shooting. Look at his form. But I tell you what, that ball found the basket. 10K later. I love it, man. Merry Christmas to that guy and his family.
Yeah, man.
Um, but yeah,
They
man. So
should
at
have
the end
said
of the
everybody
day,
in the arena gets free taquitos or something, you know?
oh yeah, for real talk, man. That guy,
Hey,
I
man,
don't
but
know.
that court too from last night, dude,
Oh man,
man.
that court looks amazing. You know, Yahoo Sports showing that. It's it's funny, man. The Spurs are getting a lot of national notoriety all of a sudden. Organizations like Yahoo Sports are commenting on them. Of course, ESPN and all those folks. But look at that court, man. It's beautiful. Those colors are vibrant. They pop. Uh,
A lot of old
you
school
gotta love
merch,
it.
and that's the cool thing, man. Like when you go to the
Yeah.
arena on
You
these
got it.
fiesta nights,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
man,
Yeah.
everybody
It's
bringing
old
out
school.
the shirts from the 90s, you know, stuff from the 80s, the
Yeah.
old school fiesta logos everywhere. It's a good time to be a fan, man. I mean, I like
It
it,
is a
you
good
know.
time.
And let's get to
It
that
is a good
super
time.
chat from Greg.
Yes. Yes.
And look at Greg. He says, Merry Christmas, 9.99 super chat. We appreciate you, man. He says, Merry Christmas, Vatos. Love the new drum clap at the end. What you all think? I'll give you my opinion, man, because I'm going to be honest with you. But before I do that, let me go ahead and bring up something here real quick. I'm going to look for the clip that I had here of Keith. I think it was Keith something that I had from social media here. He had put something up about the actual. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Right here about the actual drum. And this is my thing, dude. Anytime something new comes out, there's always a little bit of a reservation. Is it going to be, you know, like traditions wise, right? And I'll be honest, man, when I first saw it, I thought the drum was a little corny, thought it was a little goofy, you know, but then look at what Keith says, you know, he's like, I saw this live and wasn't sure what to think at first. Exactly. My impression too. Then I saw and heard that the fans were into it. The players seemed into it too and having fun. So I loved it. Stuff like, you know, stuff that becomes a team tradition always seems a little weird and corny at first, but ends up being awesome. You know, and I wake up in the morning. Last night I thought it was a little goofy, you know, a little corny, but then you wake up in the morning, you give it a second look, you know, and you're looking to see what's going on. The players are happy, the fans are happy, they seem into it. I mean, like I said, there's always pushback when there's something new, right? Even like in the days of old Rick in the 90s, you know, when they were doing the Go Spurs Go, some people didn't like it, other people loved it. I liked it, you know, so it's like I'm gonna give it a chance, dude, because and look, everybody's having fun, everybody's enjoying it. Why not, right? Let's see if it
Yeah.
becomes a thing.
Yeah, I agree. And what I think is cool about it is uh the Jackals had put a video of, because there was a video where Wemby was doing it with the Jackals at their like practice, right? Because the Jackals have actual chant practices and cheer practices or whatever. And it might sound funny to people, but they do because they're organized, right? So every once in a while they all get together, they go over the chants, they make sure everybody knows what they're doing, kind of thing. And it's outside of the performance center, right outside by the
Yeah.
practice facility. So one day Wemby came out there and he was joining the Jackals at their practice. He sat and had lunch with a couple of them, which was really cool. And then he kind of busted out this thing that he wanted to start
Little
doing, right? So
drum.
so yeah, they were doing the whole practice and all that,
Yeah.
and people were kind of clowning it. I saw a couple of social media outlets pick it up and say, oh, Spurs or Wemby's teaching fans how to clap or how to chant or something like that, and kind of clowning it. But it was cool, and now it came to fruition. So there's a really cool video on the Jackals Twitter page that shows them um, going from the practice to the doing it at the actual Frost Bank. So
Yeah. Come
that's
full
I
circle, you know.
come full circle, come full circle. Yeah, what's up? My guy Cuts by Jones is in that chat. Good to see you.
What's up, man?
Ish Lago says, "Yep, you know I'm representing Bill Miller, baby." Yeah, July 93, 26. Talks about going from the lighting the beam to the drum. I saw somebody on social media compare it to that. They said, actually, I think it was a Kings fan, and they were like,
Yeah.
"We don't have Harrison Barnes, we don't have Fox, and now Spurs have their own version of light the beam." So it was a Kings fan who was like upset at what they've lost when it comes to
Yeah.
the players. But shout out to PF Chang's La Cantera that powers our chat. Um, yeah, I like it, right? I like the drum. I think it's cool. I think it's fun that Wemby is getting the fans involved. Like you said, the players like it. Grandmaster, that's funny. That's true. Um, I I don't. I mean, again, I'm sure someone's gonna hate on it. I'm sure someone's gonna find something wrong with it or complain about it. And yeah, Grandmaster, you're right. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know how people can complain and be upset about people being happy and the team being into it, the players being into it, the fans being into it. Um, yes, it's a European soccer style type thing, which I don't see as a bad thing. I think it's awesome. I think it's different. Um, Again, it gets the fans involved, not just the Jackals. Like the whole arena was doing it, right? I saw videos of Gimme Gimme, right? My boy Aaron Pena, who if you don't know Aaron Pena, or if you haven't gone out to his establishments in Southtown, Bar Gimme Gimme, Amor Eterno, those are all bars and that he owns.
Yeah.
Spurs headquarters is Gimme Gimme, bro. I'm telling you, if you ever they have a lot of games. All the games are on there at Gimme Gimme. If you're not in the arena and if you're not somewhere else out of town, Bar Gimme Gimme is a spot to be for Spurs games. So they were
Yeah.
doing it at the Gimme Gimme. They were doing the whole chant thing, and it was cool. So
Yeah, look at this play, man. This was the play of the night to me because look at Wemby could have had the three, but he gave it up. Gives it to Keldon for the easy layup. That's a heck of a play from your star player, willing to go ahead and give up a sure thing to give it to his boy underneath the basket that's wide open. You know,
yeah,
like why not, dude? That's to me,
that
that
was
was the
right.
better play to
Yeah,
make. That was the more
right,
high percentage shot. You know, you could have
right.
taken the three, but
Oh
your boy
yeah,
was wide open underneath the rim.
yeah. You
Give it
love
to him,
seeing
maybe
that.
he and one. You know,
You love
hell
seeing
of a
that. Yeah,
shot.
and then you love seeing them after. Like, look at that. Look how
Yeah,
hyped
look
they
at
are, bro.
they're
Look how
happy
hyped
for
they
each
are.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Keldon Johnson, right? And that's your superstar, mega star that everyone's like, shoot, shoot, shoot. He sees the court, the vision that he saw, and he saw Keldon wide open under the basket. And instead of taking that three, which maybe he would have in the past, he shoots it down to Keldon, and then they're just ecstatic, man. This team is rolling, man. This team is rolling on all cylinders. Um, it's just fun, man. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see all the different, like they're talking about gimme gimme. Yes, like going out to those spots, the Rock at La Cantera whenever they have the shows there. Going to the game, of course, or the not the shows, whenever they show the games, at the Rock. Um, Going live, obviously, to the games are amazing. I'm telling you, man, those tickets are becoming a hot commodity. Let me tell you, because I'll
price
tell you
tag
what,
going up.
the price tag is going up on them tickets. Let me tell you, Saturday's game versus the Jazz, like those tickets back in the day, not even back in the day, last year would have probably been in like section 101 or whatever, like where I got my season tickets. Them tickets
$80,
probably would have been about
$100.
it made like $50 versus the Jazz, because the Jazz weren't good and
Yeah,
the Spurs weren't good. Nowadays, going for about $200 a pop, bro. $200 a pop for those seats, and that's 101 in the like rows, teens and 20s. Not even talking down, 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 but
yeah,
which is a good
lower
thing.
level.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lower. Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it's good because that means the team is doing well. I don't know if it's good for fans because, of course, paying more,
Damn,
but
that means some my skybox tickets are gonna go up too. They're probably gonna be instead of 250, they're gonna be like 350 or something now, dude.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Hmm.
So
But
you know,
yeah,
they're
man.
showing
So.
the repeat on here of the highlights from the game. And you know, they were talking about Wemby's streak coming to an end, right?
Mhm.
He had a block in every game, you know, and I
Yep,
think it was like
101,
101,
101,
you know, something like
101.
that.
Hmm.
And the streak came to an end last night. Didn't have a block in that game. But you know what? What he did have is a big win over OKC. And it wasn't just Wemby. It was Wemby didn't have a really good night when it comes to point production. But that's a testament to how good the team is. Like other players can step up. It doesn't have to be Wemby. So I think we're going to see more nights like this where Wemby's not scoring, 23, 25 plus points. He doesn't have to. When you have other players stepping up, that's just, again, a testament to how good the team is right now. And for the blocks that he had, that streak coming to an end, a block in every game, and for them to blow out OKC by 20 points, I mean, Wemby would be like, hell with that. Let the streak die, man. We beat this team.
Yeah,
He'd rather have the
exactly.
win more than the block,
Yes.
Real talk.
Yes.
Real talk.
I agree. And I think that's what's special about him, because some players, especially young players, let's be honest, they like to pad their stats, and they like those individual accolades, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't, right? But seeing Wemby, and as young as he is, and still, not really caring about the block streak and caring about just winning, and winning by the amount that they did. You could tell after the game, like I said, he was excited. He was doing the drum, thing with the jackals, and everybody in the arena. It didn't seem like he was too bothered about that 101 block streak, but it's special, man. Something special has happened in San Antonio. And it's been brewing. It's been brewing. That's the beautiful thing, is I think it's not just like it happened overnight, A
Yeah.
lot of us have been season ticket members during the dark days. A lot of us have been going to games during the dark days, been live tweeting every game, even again, this ain't me throwing shade at nobody. Of course, when they start winning cures all. So a lot more people are going to the games. A lot more people are tweeting about the Spurs that weren't before. Let's be honest. But it's a beautiful thing to see. To see people coming around.
Yeah. And look, we have
So
somebody else watching us from Mexico right now también.
hell yeah, awesome! I love that, man.
Bienvenidos,
shout out to you, brother. Yeah, shout out, brother. Yeah, shout out, brother. Juarez. Hell yeah.
Another guy watching us from Mexico. There you go,
Tony's
man.
the one
Muchas
he's
gracias.
always. Tony Morales has been here. One of our new listeners from Juarez. Hey, welcome, man. Bienvenidos. Yeah, and back to people were asking about. Mike actually did tweet. I don't know if y'all saw that. He tweeted and he said, "I was wrong," and he quote tweeted the Wemby chant thing, the Wemby beating the drum.
The drum, yeah.
So Mike, I already know we got to give him the chancla. He's gonna backstep. He's gonna go back and say, you know what? Yeah, it is like I just like you said, Joe. I think if you're not sure about it, and again, I'm nobody to tell anybody what to say, what to tweet.
Out of fan.
But yeah, not a fan. I'm not. But if you're not sure about it, I think it's easier to be like, I'm not sure. We'll see. Instead of just like bashing something and then having to like backtrack. And it just, I don't know. It's silly that you bash things and players or jackals or whatever. And then you got to go back and be like, yeah, I was wrong, but I was right about all this other stuff. Like this
There
whole
it
bad this. Yeah, there it is right there. Look at Mike.
tweet
Yeah,
from
he says, okay,
Miguelito.
tweet from Miguelito. Okay, I was wrong. Exactly. He was wrong. And one of those, it's like you people say things and they stay on those takes and they just die on those. Like they don't want to go back
You
and
can't
say,
evolve.
"Oh, I was wrong." Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's just fun. It's funny to see that. It's
Oh.
funny to see that to me where people. Like if you say you didn't like the Jackals from the beginning, now you might like them, but you don't want to say you do. You know what I mean?
And
Because
on
you're like,
business, you don't like
I
them,
already
you don't
locked
like
in.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I already locked in. So it's like that's why you shouldn't, lock in and be involved in like absolutes when you don't know
Look
yet.
at-
You don't know what it's gonna be.
We got this
Um,
incoming super chat from Greg. I appreciate you, Greg. And he says, can't wait to see Mike clap with the drum.
Exactly.
Can you imagine, bro?
Yeah, Mike is gonna be there doing the whole clap thing after he torched the Jackals or whatever.
And look, we
said
got
it was
another incoming super chat from Greg.
yeah.
And Greg is saying, thanks, Greg, for the super chats. We appreciate you, man. He says, yes,
Yeah.
Harper can score, but can he do the other things to make the team better? Well, last night, 5 steals, 10 assists, showed me he can. It showed me he can. Manu, grito for the win.
Mhm.
So we'll go ahead and do the grito. We'll do the old school grito for him.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor
There we go. We're the only show in town that does the grito. We keep it puro here,
Hey,
bro.
the sicko grito, man, is a good one. The old man grito is a classic.
Do we
Yeah,
have to do
man.
the Sitco man video? Because you know what? That's what Spurs fans are telling everybody right now. Because you know what?
Yeah.
They said that Spurs weren't going to be any good. Que they weren't going to be all that. Y tanto, it was all
Yeah,
about OKC. And now,
yeah,
we all wake up this morning. Spurs are number 2. They're only 3 games back of OKC. And San Antonio Spurs and the Spurs fans right now are telling the rest of the league que me la pelan, vato,
exactly.
Todos me pegan toda la pura verga. Me trepan a la verga. Mira.
And there you go.
You
You
gotta
gotta
love
show
the
us something
sicko.
right here. Little show and
Oh
tell.
yeah. Speaking of that, exactly. We do a little show and tell. The Christmas came early, So again, everybody knows, everybody's seen. This is the belt. This is the belt, the case that it comes in, actually, right? So it comes in this nice little case that protects it. Got the Spurs. You unzip it here, and yeah, man. I said to myself, I said, after this win, after this big OKC win, I'm gonna bring it out for the podcast, and yeah, man, it's awesome. And like this side of it is like all like an actual, I don't know if y'all can see that, but they're like all WWE
Damn.
collab official, logos. Eventually I want to get the players a sign inside here, but so the belt comes out, with the Spurs getting that win against OKC. The belt gets unveiled here
How
here
heavy is that
on
belt,
air.
bro? It looks like it
It's
got
heavy,
some
bro.
weight to it, bro.
Oh, it got weight, bro. I'm telling you, man. So I was in Vegas for the Cup, and I had the belt, and a lot of Spurs fans were out there, and they all wanted to take a picture with it. They want to hold it, and I was like, of course, man. I will much oblige, man. I literally there was a point where I was just like they were just passing it on to people, and people were taking pictures with it and doing their thing, which I love, man. I love people enjoying it. It's heavy. People, I don't know the exact weight, but people kind of freak out when they grab it and they're like, "Oh wow, it's heavy!" Like they think it's just like kind of like a flimsy
Like the
choppa, like
plastic or something.
yeah,
No, hombre.
Trader Village belt. Like nah, bro. This is the real deal, dog. This is the
No,
real deal.
they think it's the
This
one
is
that
the
made out
real
of
deal.
styrofoam and
Yeah,
plastic,
yeah,
bro. No,
exactly,
no.
exactly,
You're like,
exactly.
not
So it's
here, bro. Not here.
yeah,
Not here.
no, no, real talk, bro, real talk, man. So yeah, the people love the belt. The belt has had been through some adventures, man. The belt was in Vegas. The belt was partying down Fremont Street. You know what I mean? The
Does
belt
it
was
have its
down there.
own social media handle yet?
You know what? Not yet, bro. But I might have to do that. Joe, and Myra have given me that idea that I might have to have the belt have its own social media and have the adventures of the belt. Because, like I said, the belt's been to LA and Phoenix where they weren't allowed to get inside, but they were outside. Been in Vegas, been in Dallas. I can't wait to bring it out to San
You
Antonio.
know why they don't
So,
allow it in Phoenix, bro? There's some bad blood between Phoenix and the Spurs, bro.
oh
They
yeah,
ain't having
yeah.
that,
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Phoenix, man, they barely let me have it outside, bro. As soon as I walked up there, I was taking pictures by the arena. Uh, freaking the security
Security.
came over and was like, nah, man, like you can't take that in. I was like, wow. But you know, LA, same thing. They didn't let me take it in. LA, I actually got it all the way through to security, but then right when I went inside, they were like, "Yeah, nah, man, we can't let that in," kind of thing. So it's whatever. Dallas, I was able to take it in with no problem. Vegas Summer League, Vegas Cup, the T-Mobile Arena was able to take it in. I'm sure I could take it in San Antonio. I'm gonna be in Houston January 28th, so I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if they let the belt in Houston. So
Yeah, hit that like
good
button,
times.
man. Hit that like button. Make the show grow.
Yeah, hit that like, yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man, that you're able to take that belt. You're not charging people to take pictures with it or nothing. They want to take a
Oh
picture, be
no,
like, hey
man.
man, take a
I ain't
picture with
oh
it,
I ain't like some of them people. I ain't gotta say no names who want to charge people for pictures, who don't
No,
wanna who
bro.
want to big time people and not take pictures with people and all that, bro. I ain't
Yeah.
like that, bro. You see me, man, you see the belt, you want to take a picture
Pull
with the
up.
belt, go for it, man. Have at it, man. And it's funny because I've had people be like, they like, and then like if I got my cup stack, people are like, oh, they want to take a picture with me, and I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
want to take a picture with the belt, and they're just like, oh, no, 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 I want to take a picture with you, and I'm like, oh, bet, like that's what's up. Oh, but I'll be like, yeah, take a picture with the belt too. So I definitely, man. There's a lot of pictures of people that been able to grab the belt. Um, Myra said we should start charging because she wants to get 20%. She wants to be my manager. You know, but I could
Uh,
though. No, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I bet you people would be down if I was like $5, $10, whatever. People would do it, bro. But it ain't about that, bro. And it's about
yeah.
having fun. And I seen a little kid in Vegas the last time, and he had one of those chains, kind of like those plastic chain Spurs, and
Oh
he was a
yeah.
little, he was a little guy, bro. And he kept looking at my belt, right? He kept looking at, it, he kept side
He
eyeing
li-
it.
he likes that
And
bling.
yeah. I was like, you want to hold it? He's like. He's all shy, right? He's all shy. And I look at his parents. I was like, is it cool if I put it on him? They're like, yeah. And they were like, okay. So I put the belt on the little kid. Bro, this belt was bigger than that kid. You know what I mean? Like this belt was heavier than that little kid.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was really cool seeing that. Um,
Yeah. I
and
wanted to play some clips of, what they said after the game, because that's a thing too. What do players say after games, especially on the
mhm,
opposing team, right?
yeah.
So the media was talking with Shy right after the game,
mhm.
and they're bringing up, hey, they're going to play the Spurs again on Christmas Day. So let's hear what he had to say after the loss.
What will a Christmas Day rematch with the Spurs look like for you guys at Paycom?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Playing on Christmas Day in itself is a dream come true. I watched the NBA games growing up every single Christmas, so that'll be super fun. Can't wait to experience that. And then against a really good basketball team, who, just beat the out of us. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Hey, at least he didn't back down, an
Well,
ass whooping's an ass whooping, bro. You can't win them
yeah,
all.
I like it, and it's an honest answer, man. I like
Yeah.
it. He straight up said what it was, and he owned it. Didn't say nothing. He said, hey, they beat the crap out of us, whatever he said, right? They beat the f out of us. But and he's excited to play on Christmas. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be an amazing
Don't lose your-
atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's Oklahoma City is a tough place to play in, so of
Yeah.
course their fans are going to be rabid. Their fans are going to be um hyped up for it, so it's going to be fun to see. But again, at the end of the day, we talked about this before the Vegas game, and I told Mike that this was like a boxing trilogy, right? It's like those
Oh man.
it's like the the
Heavyweight throwdown, bro.
Ali, yeah, Ali,
Yeah.
Frazier, and all that kind of stuff, right? So boxing trilogy, one in neutral grounds in Vegas, one in San Antonio, one in OKC. Spurs are up 2-0 on this trilogy, baby. Spurs, it's like Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez, dog. Those old fights where they went back and forth and they were
The
battles. But I'll tell
battles.
you, Spurs have gotten ahead of them. So at the end of the day, the worst the Spurs will do in this trilogy is 3-1, or I'm sorry, 2-1. So
Spurs have
it's
done
not
one
a,
important thing that we
it's not a
forget.
bad place to be.
Spurs they have gotten into OKC's head, dude. They
Yeah.
got in their mind already.
Oh
They
yeah.
got the
Oh yeah.
Spurs in their mind, and they'll be like, damn, man, we didn't think this team was going to be that good, and then be this good in order to beat us. And the second time we go up against them, you thought, hey, man, OKC's going to come out and have something to prove and want to beat the Spurs on their own home court. And they got off to a hot start. And I wasn't going
Mhm.
to jump to conclusions. It was like 7-2. I'm like, bro, another 3-pointer here and there, man, they're back in the game. And I know some fans will overreact. Oh, man, they're down 7-2. Bro, it's the first quarter, bro. Like,
Oh, bro,
calm
they'll
down.
they'll they'll
Calm
they'll they'll,
down.
they'll, they'll swear they're gonna turn off the game, but they don't.
But we'll
But
turn
yeah,
it off. Don't watch it then.
exactly. That's what I say.
Stand on
That's what I say.
business. You know,
Exactly.
don't come
Exactly.
in at the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. Oh, mira, los Spurs won. No, you turned the TV
Yeah.
off, doggy. Go
Yeah.
play.
Don't don't
You know?
don't don't come back. Don't come back clapping, dog. Don't come back doing this, dog. After
Yeah,
you done after you
stay
done said
gone.
you were done with this
Stay gone.
team and you're over them and you
You're
don't
not going to be
defraud.
enjoying the victory
Yeah,
shot with us. No, you good. You were complaining. Yeah,
I
but
love it, man. I love
listen
those fans
to
that give up so easy.
bro, all the time, every game, bro, every time on social media. I'm done. I'm not going to watch. Well, don't watch.
Yeah, it's 7-2, bro. Relax. Like
Yeah,
it's 7-2, bro. Like, geez.
they're gonna lose. No, bro, hold on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, but I don't really watch like Gilbert Arenas' his podcast, right? Gil's
Mhm.
Arena. But they had something interesting to say about Oklahoma City, and they said OKC's identity has been exposed. They are out playing guys by fouling and hacking, and the refs are allowing them to do certain stuff out there on the court.
Mhm.
And Rashad was saying he believes the Thunder are benefiting from preferential treatment. And at
Yeah.
times it seems like that might be the case. You see what Shai does and how he can go ahead and bait guys to jump. And then he goes into his shooting motion and go
Oh
ahead
yeah.
and create the contact, instigate the contact, get the shot off, gets the and
Mhm.
one opportunity. And he's really good at what he does. I mean, you can hate it all you want, but it's an art form that he's perfected, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
I understand the logic behind it, but let's hear what they had to say.
Don't lose your identity as a
Feeling shot.
team. The identity has been exposed. Now, we see how y'all have been playing up until this point, y'all momentum and the chemistry that y'all been forging.
What
we
identity
see
is that, Rashad?
The identity is y'all are outplaying guys by fouling and hacking, and the refs allowing y'all to do certain shit.
That's the identity.
And then
So
y'all
all
get,
five doing, they can't
y'all,
call them all.
Y'all getting fouls
Hey.
on the other end.
Hey,
so what are we doing
so
in
what
San
you-
Antonio?
So
What
what
did we
you
do?
telling me is they can't call them all, so guess what? And
When the refs
hold on.
don't call it, they lose.
So their identity is in the top 10 defensive rating in the National Basketball Association. The top 5 slots belong to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and number 8 belong to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What I
So
like about
that's their fucking identity.
Shit.
OKC never get blew out.
26-3.
Like, they are a team that's how you know
They been
you're a
shit.
good team. Like you never have those off.
You see, he says they never get blown out. Well, they got blown out. And who blew them out?
Exactly.
San Antonio Spurs blew them out. Because you know what? At the end of the day, San Antonio has proven that right now, they are better than OKC. You cannot deny that they're not better than Oklahoma City, that they don't have Oklahoma City's number. They got in their heads. They went and beat them in the Emirates Cup. They beat them in their own home court right now. San Antonio did. I mean, what more do you need? The trilogy? Do you want them to perfect the trifecta and beat Oklahoma City? The only thing they haven't done is beaten OKC and Oklahoma. Once they do that on Christmas Day, if they're able to pull that off, dude. They're the best team in the NBA.
I want them to go in there and be like the Grinch that stole Christmas in OKC, bro. Go in there and take all that who hash and all that who
Everything.
gifts and all go in there and take it all. Ornaments,
presents.
trees, presents, food, everything, bro. Grinch just go in there and take all that OKC who hash. Like we taking it all, bro. The crumb. Take the crumb from the mouse, bro. Like so, you know,
Don't
and
even let them
Joe,
celebrate nothing.
Exactly. Joe, you said something that's interesting and that I really believe in. Getting in their heads. Now, like OKC, when they were 23-1 or whatever they were, bro, they had no doubt, right? They have no doubt in their mind. It's like, again, we're boxing guys, right, Joe? We love boxing. It's like it's like when Mike Tyson, remember prime young Mike Tyson, where he would walk in the ring with the black shorts, no music, no robe, no socks, right? Just black shorts, black shoes, ready to go, right? Guys like Michael Spinks and all these other guys were defeated before the fight started. They were defeated before the bell rang, right? They were defeated because they saw Mike Tyson come down and that aura that he had, that invincibility, right? That he just couldn't be touched.
The Riz.
The Riz, exactly. The Riz, bro. There you go. The Riz, right? All that, bro. And that's what you gotta have when you're that motherfucker. You gotta have that, right? You have to, bro. In life or in sports or in whatever you got, right? You gotta have that. So prime Mike Tyson had that, right? So that's what the Thunder had before the Spurs. They were 23-1 or whatever they were. It was like a foregone conclusion. There was no it was like Thunder and everybody else. And they just had it, right? Now they got punched in the mouth the way Mike Tyson did against James Buster Douglas, against Evander Holyfield, and against those guys. And now their aura of invincibility has been cracked, has been shattered. Now they're second guessing themselves, right? That's the key. Now the Thunder are like, man, can we beat this team? Like they thought they were gonna go into the Vegas Cup and just walk through them. It was like, okay, Spurs, yeah, nice story that you're here, whatevs, you know. But and then they come into San Antonio and they say, well, we want revenge, right? We're going to go in there. We're the best team in the league. Bro, they got blown out. It wasn't even close. So, you know, even, you know, you go to OKC and I'm sure the Thunder are going to be favored. You know, I get it. It's in their home. Like folks are pointing out that a lot of teams, obviously no one has beaten them at home. They're a tough team to beat at home. But just like the Rocky movie, right? He's not a machine, you know. He can bleed, you know. He can bleed. He's not a machine. Exactly, same thing, bro. So no matter what happens on Christmas Day, and real talk, and this ain't me being a Spurs homer. I'm being 100. No matter what happens on Christmas Day, the Spurs are already in the Thunder's head, dog. The Spurs are. I'll tell you what, the Thunder better win. The Thunder better win this game in their home court, because I'll tell you. No matter what happens, at the end of the day, even if the Thunder win in their own home court, it's gonna be like, cool, you won at home. You're supposed to. You're the number 1 seed. You're the defending champs. Like you're supposed to win at home. Like so, to me, winning at home isn't going to be that big of a deal for me. I mean, they're already down 2-0 in this series, right? This little mini series that they have. So all I got to say is they better win at home. They better, because if they don't, wow, they're really going to have the seeds sown in their head of, we don't think we can beat this team, and we damn sure don't want to see this team in a 7-game series come
What's
playoff
the
time.
forecast for tomorrow over there? You know, when the Spurs playing over there in OKC,
Yeah.
there might not be any 0% chance of thunder
0%
in
chance
the
of
arena.
thunder, baby. Exactly. 0% chance of thunder, baby. 0% chance of thunder. Sunny in San Antonio.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and hear what Wemby had to say. I see that super chat coming in, Mario Cavazos. We'll get to it right now. I just
Mhm.
want to hear what Wemby had to say after the game as he was addressing the media, and this is courtesy of Clutch Sports via the NBA, and what he was saying about the matchup that's coming up, because they know they took care of business on their own home court, but they got another game coming up tomorrow over in OKC.
What are you expecting from them 2 days from now on Christmas Day up there?
No, I mean they're gonna be locked in, like more than any time before probably. I know it's a resourceful team, but we're gonna be there too.
Yeah, he's just saying
Yeah,
you're ready.
for sure.
You know, they're ready.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they're ready to
No,
be there
no,
too.
and that's true. That's a good way to look at it. I'm telling you, OKC is going to be locked in. JHNSB is asking me that, does it matter that OKC came off back to back? It does matter. It does. Coming off back to back is tough. It's very difficult to leave, play a game, travel, get into another city, right, and all that. I get that. That's not, and I'm like, I always tell people this, like, things aren't in a vacuum. There's a lot of context. That's why I always tell people, like, saying things like, "Oh, so and so is sucks or isn't a good shooter," or anything like that is just crazy to me, because, like I said, at the end of the day, all these guys are NBA players. Like, the worst
Yeah.
player in the NBA worked hard through high school, college, and is just an amazing basketball player just to be in the National Basketball Association. Like, the worst player, the bench guy that you guys clown and laugh at and talk about, is like such an amazing athlete to just be in the NBA. You know what I mean? So I always try to give credit to those folks, man. Guys in the G League that people laugh and clown about that could never touch those guys. Hey, just because you ball at your local YMCA, at your local rec or whatever, doesn't mean you're gonna, you act like you could touch these guys and you can't, right? So I respect anybody that can reach a certain level in their craft, even if they're the worst player in the NBA. That dude is a baller. But
Yeah.
so there's no excuses, but there's context. So what JHNSB is saying is, yeah, coming off a back to back is tough. I will give him that. Like, it's not
Spurs
easy to
gonna
do
have
that.
to do that too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, yeah, every team deals with that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that can't be the excuse. Like, it is a factor. I will say that it's a factor. I look at that when I look at the schedule and I be like, oh, they're coming off a back to back, or the Spurs are
Yeah.
coming off a back to back. I think to myself, like, it could be tough. It could be a letdown. So yes, coming off a back to back does matter, but I can't say that that's an excuse as to why you lost by 20 points.
Yeah, because I watched that game the other night between the Grizzlies and the Thunder, right? I watched that game and I'm like, you know what? The Thunder are going to be coming off a back-to-back and they're going to have to play the Spurs on the 23rd.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I was watching that game and I was like, okay, Thunder won 119-103, right? I said, all right, but you know what? They can get tired. And fatigue is going to play a factor. So when they came to play San Antonio, I was like, you know what? San Antonio, I give them a good chance of winning this game because I already knew OKC was going to be fatigued. But that's something that every team has to deal with. It doesn't matter
Right.
if you're the
Yeah.
Thunder, you're the Spurs, whatever. Every
yeah.
team has to go ahead and have those back-to-back games, right? Back-to-back
Yeah.
nights. It's how you respond. Sometimes you're good enough to win. Sometimes you're just tired. Maybe OKC got tired, but it doesn't discount
Sure.
the win. You know,
Yeah,
the
I
win is
mean-
still impactful. And you know what?
Yeah.
The Spurs, they got that win against OKC convincingly, 130 to 110. And like you said, and like I said, they're already in their heads. You know,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
already
they went
got
to
in their head.
Vegas. They played them in Vegas. I mean, I don't remember, but I don't know if either team was coming off a back to back and all that. I don't think they were. But again, Spurs had a rough game in LA. Not a rough game, but a tough game. I went to that game. That was the semifinals. They went into LA into a hostile crypto arena, and
Yeah.
beat the Lakers. Which was, again, they weren't even favored in that game. It was the Lakers. They thought the Lakers were gonna move on. So
Yeah.
the Spurs, you can't discount what they did. At the end of the day, back to backs, traveling, all these different things.
A part of the schedule, man.
It's part of it. It's part of it, and it's tough. It is, and like I said, it's a factor. but I wouldn't call it an excuse, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's not like one team has to deal with it and the other team doesn't. Like they all do. Every team deals with it at some
Same thing
point or
with
the
the
other.
refs and calls. I
So
mean, OKC is
yeah,
going to be getting those hometown calls,
yeah,
and
yeah,
rightfully so. They're playing in their own backyard, right?
yeah.
Spurs got some calls yesterday, and we're going to address this super chat because I'm going to go and this goes into that, right?
Mhm.
So Mario Cavazos, thank you for the 199 super chat. Appreciate you, man. He was saying, Pinche Dort needs to stop with the bullshit. And I get you, man, because there was a play there where Dort blatantly kicked out. Blatantly.
Yeah. I'm glad they called it.
The
I'm
play was
glad they
done.
called it. Yeah.
And he put his leg out, man. That's going to cause somebody to get injured right there. That should
Yeah.
be called.
Yeah.
I mean, that should have just not just a regular foul. That should have been a flagrant because you could have caused somebody to get injured, right?
Yeah.
But they called it an offensive foul, ball going the other way. But stuff like that needs to stop, man. And see, and that's the thing that scares me about OKC. Doing stupid, silly shit like that, dude. They're going to cause one of the Spurs' key players to wind up getting injured because of nonsense like that, dude. You know, there's no reason for that. I mean, why would you do that? You know, and you're doing stuff like that. You know what that screams of? It reeks of desperation, man. You scared.
Exactly.
You scared.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, hey, man.
You can't. You're not winning on normal terms. You're not winning on ethical terms, right? Ethical basketball, as Wemby has famously said, and William said it. Speaking out, I'm glad they called that because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there's so many players that do that, and honestly, usually, what do they like in baseball? They say tie goes to the runner. Usually the offensive player gets the call. Whenever there's a shot and there's a closeout, right? 9 times out of 10, the shooter gets the call because the defender is coming in and the shooter is defenseless because the shooter is trying to shoot and trying to land. And I understand that and I get that. We're talking about Zaza. Like people are exactly same thing, right? You don't want that. But there are times where the offensive player takes advantage. It's kind of like in football too, right? Like pass interference, right? The pass interference tie goes to the runner. 9 times out of 10, who gets caught? The defender, right? The defender. Sometimes though, the wide receiver, the offensive player can cause a lot of contact and cause a lot of pass interference, but it gets called mostly on the defender. That's just kind of how it is. So same thing here when it comes to basketball, where the shooter usually gets the benefit of the doubt, but when they blatantly kick their leg out the way Dort did. You can't reward
That's a flagrant,
that.
dude.
You can't reward that.
Flagrant.
Yeah.
You need to find them so they can stop that kind of nonsense, dude. Because that's like they were saying, that's a Zaza-esque play, and there's no need for that. But thank you, Jonathan. He was sending us this video, the media share. And this is how many players that OKC sat because they knew the Spurs were coming up, right? On that prior game when they were playing against the Grizzlies. Look at how many people sat out. Caruso out, Dang out, Hartenstein out, Holmgren out, Sorber out, Topic out, Wiggins out, Williams out. Like, come on.
So he's saying that they sat those players.
They sat them. They were all out.
First game of the back-to-back.
The first game of the back-to-back when they got that win over Memphis.
I didn't even know that. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a good point. So now there's more context to this. They're coming off a back-to-back, right? But they rested their guys in the beginning. You know what I mean?
The key players.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. So yeah, I didn't know that. Who sent that?
This was Jonathan Pettis, man.
Jonathan Pettis. Oh yeah, appreciate that, Jonathan. I didn't know that. That's a good. Honestly, I'm bad, but I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of the other teams' games. My boys do, man. We have the NBA League Pass, so my boys always watch. Like they're just basketball fans, period. I mean, they're Spurs fans, but they love hooping, so they'll watch all the different games on our League Pass. So I didn't catch that, but that's a good point because now it just gives more context to the whole playing back to back games where they rested folks in the front end, which is smart. It's not a bad move. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I mean, I get the strategy, like I do, but now there's more context as to we can't say that, well, they're coming off a back to back.
They were saving their best.
They rested a lot of their best
key
players.
Exactly.
The
best players,
Exactly. Which is not a bad move. It's a smart. It's a smart strategy.
But even at full strength, se lo cagaron still, dude. They still lost.
Exactly.
And I'm going to play this from Wemby. Wemby was addressing the media. They were talking to him about the team chemistry as San Antonio had their longest win streak of the season, and one of the longest win streaks at 7 games in a row since the 2018-19 season. Let's hear what he had to say.
No, it's great. I mean, on and off the court, we're getting along great. And as I said before, it's a lot of fun, and it's easy to get in the flow of this team because it's paying off. Like the efforts we do on the court are paying off. We're not doing them, and it's not like we're doing it and not seeing any results, So it's contagious, but we need to make it even more contagious and take pleasure from playing games like this, doing hard things.
So that's good. He's just saying, and in the context of things, they need to enjoy their victories. Victories like this, big victories. They did this together as a team. And there's no doubt about that. And it's good for Victor to recognize that. Like there has to be some type of a recognition where you're like, you know what, this was a hard fought win. We deserve to be here. And and I think the Spurs now, they're starting to believe in themselves,
Mhm.
and that's scary, dude. Because this team is scary good right now. And they start believing in themselves and each other, and they have that camaraderie going. I'm seeing flashes, man, of the beautiful game. If you're looking
Mhm.
at this team and you're seeing the way that they pass that ball around the wing, and they're just looking for the open man, and then boom, 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 and it goes around the horn, and then they give it to the open man. He shoots that wide open three. I'm like, damn, dude, this team is scary good right now because they figured some
Mhm.
things out, And it's a far cry from where they started in the beginning of the season to where they're at right now. That leap that took place in the absence of Wemby being out and being injured, probably the best damn thing that ever happened to this team. Real talk, because they learned how to play without him, and they're like, you know what, we're still gonna win. We're not gonna lay down and just lose. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna give up. And because they got that little chip on their shoulder, and they're like, you know what, we are pretty good. We're good with him, but we're also good without him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that was instrumental to their success right now, dude. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor right now. This team, I mean, the sky's the limit for them. They're scary. They're the hottest team in the NBA. Nobody wants to play them right now. OKC's scared, dude. I bet you they were in the
Mhm.
plane and they're just like, damn, man, that Spurs team is pretty good,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you mentioned it, Joe. I think last show we talked about this, about winning without your star, right? At the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. God forbid. And I don't wish injury on anybody, but injuries happen, things happen. So at the end of the day, you have to win without your star. So can the Spurs win without Wemby? Yes.
Absolutely.
Can the Thunder win without SGA? I don't know. I don't think so. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Uh, the difference is Wemby's amazing. Wemby's Wemby. All that. We got that. That's not even a discussion. So the thing is, though, you want to be able to say, I can win if, God forbid, Wemby goes down, or we don't have him, or we got to give him on a minutes restriction or whatever. Now you got Castle. Now you got Harper. You got Fox, right? Keldon's coming off the bench hitting. Like, it's, Luke Cornett is doing the dirty work. Like,
The
all
big
those things.
elote.
And the big elote, yeah, all those things, right? Julian hits when every once in a while he gets hot. Um, everyone does their role, and are they perfect? No. Sometimes, yeah, Julian has a game where you're like, oh, Julian, whatever. But there's times where he hits big shots, and that's all you ask of somebody, bro. At the end of the day, it's like a Steve Kerr type role.
Yeah.
When he played for the Spurs and he never even saw the court until that Dallas game, and they threw him out there, and then he
They
started
needed him.
hitting. Yeah, exactly. So that when they need you the most, that's when things happen, right? Harrison Barnes is doing
That's
his
when the
thing, like,
legend of said player begins.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
but look at this.
exactly.
This is Dan Weiss had reposted this, or he had put this out on X, and I retweeted it. And he says the Spurs, probably to no surprise, the way they're built, have had 7 different leading scorers during their current 7-game winning streak. Right. So they
Yeah.
had Barnes show up right against New
Mhm.
Orleans. He had 24. Castle had 30 against LA.
Mhm.
Cassell had 23 against OKC when the first time they beat
Mhm.
him.
Mhm.
Harper 24 versus the Wizards. Wembenyama 26 versus the
Yeah.
Hawks, right?
Right.
Fox had 27 again versus the Hawks. I mean, versus Washington. And
Mhm.
then Johnson had 25 and last night against OKC. It's not all just Wemby. At any
Yes.
given time, at
Yes.
any given night, any one of these guys can go off. And as
Yeah.
a coach of the opposing team, how do you account for that?
Right.
It's like the Hydra, bro. You cut off the
Yeah.
head of one, the other one's going to grow back in its place. So right now it's like, if you're a team,
Yeah.
if you're a coach on the opposing team, how do you strategize for something like that? You can't.
Yeah. You can't, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. At the end of the day, that's a balance attack. That's a balanced attack. If you have just Wemby, the leading scorer, which is great for stats, what that's not championship basketball. Like at the end of the, like when you watch championship teams from the beginning of time to now, yes, they had stars and all that, but I'm telling you, it's all those others, all those other role players that do what they're supposed to, that show up, real quick, a funny anecdote. I think it's JHNSB, yeah, talking about Julian stepping out. Yeah, he does that a lot. I don't know why. I said that to my son too yesterday. I said, why does Julian always step out of bounds? Like he does that way more than he
They're
should.
not.
Yeah, but it's the game's fast and things are happening. But yeah, he does. I will say, yeah, he steps out of bounds more than any other player that I remember. But yeah, it's so it's just again, you got to win with those others, right? The bench players got to show up. You got to have the chemistry. You got to have all that different stuff. Having a star doesn't necessarily equate to winning a championship. It equates to winning games, maybe it equates to stats or whatever. But we've seen a lot of teams that have had stars that put up a lot of numbers, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they don't hold up that trophy.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a pause real quick here. We're going to go ahead and give some love to our sponsor here, which is PF Chang's. They go ahead and help power this chat. And remember, today is Wines Day Wednesday, and that means half off bottles of wine and champagne every day Wednesdays. So make sure if you go over there to PF Chang's location at La Cantera, you tell Sean Quintero, the area 210 sent you. So we're going to go ahead and give some love to our sponsor, and we'll be right back and give you a really good stat that I want y'all to think about here. PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. And shout out to PF Chang's again. Make sure you go and visit the PF Chang's location at La Cantera and let them know the Area 210 sent you. And they also help power the chat that you boys are enjoying right now. So thank you so much to PF Chang's and Sean Quintero. So let's go ahead and get back to it, man. I was going to go ahead and share this stat. And this is from our good friend of the show, Paul Garcia. He's a great numbers guy, man. Great follow. If you haven't followed him, make sure you follow him on the X. And he was saying the Spurs have led by 15 points in over half their games this season at 52%, right? San Antonio enters 13-1 when leading by 15. So let that sink into you. Like the Spurs are that much more improved. And you look and see what they did last season, right? Compared to this season. That means that they're able to go ahead and get a lead and also be able to sustain it. So that's showing you growth right there as a team. And that's something you need to watch for. It's going to be something I think I'm going to look at closely if the Spurs wind up going up by 15 against OKC on OKC's home court. The numbers don't lie. I say women lie, people lie, but the numbers don't lie. The Spurs can go up by 15 points against OKC in their own home court.
Mhm.
It's in their favor, man. So just go ahead and just a little tidbit, a little stat, you can keep
Yeah,
an eye on if the Spurs do go up against OKC by 15 on Christmas Day. So I just wanted to throw
Well,
that out there, man.
what the Spurs can't do in OKC is just get in there and like get behind big early. They just can't. At the end, like I said, this is my opinion. No matter what happens in OKC, the Spurs still won 2 games against OKC, so they're already in their heads. Even a close loss would still give OKC thoughts to ponder, like,
Yeah.
whoa, I like that question by Mario Cavazos. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit, big dog. I saw that. I like it. It's a good question, actually. Well, we'll talk. I think, we usually go about an hour and a half, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And I know we talked a lot of Spurs, and I think maybe if Joe, if you don't mind, again, if Joe's the boss. If maybe like the last 30 minutes we could talk some holiday traditions and what
yeah.
people like to do for all that, and
I'm
which
ready, bro.
which will be a good segue into Mario's question.
And did this,
But
exactly.
yeah, exactly. But real quick, Yeah, what they can do is go out and get blown out early. At least compete, win. I mean, at the end of the day, win. If the Spurs win, that's what we're shooting for. I think they can. I think they can go in there and win. The way they've played, the way they're in their head. Um, but okay, like Vic even said it, like OKC's gonna be locked in, bro. We already know that, bro. They're gonna be in front of their home crowd. It's Christmas. They do not want to lose to this team again. They do not. It's almost like a playoff where they know if they go down 3-0, bro, it's a wrap. So OKC is really not gonna want to lose this game and all that. But if the Spurs can just stay the course, kind of keep doing what they're doing, keep it close, and then at the end, be the Grinch and steal it, that'd be awesome. But we'll see. I'm all I don't want them to do is to get down early. I don't want the
Yeah.
Spurs to get in a big hole early in the game where they can't climb out of.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the traditions that we have. We are on the
Mhm.
eve right here of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Christmas
Mhm.
Eve, 2025. It's been a long year, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Oh yeah.
I've taken some L's myself, like we've had issues, health issues, with my mother-in-law, and she was in the hospital. They had to sedate her and all that, and then the family thought they were gonna lose her then. She made it out, and I told her, man, she's on borrowed time. I was hoping she'd make it to Thanksgiving, Christmas this year was not to be, but we lost her. We just went ahead and put her in the ground, had her funeral and everything a couple weeks ago. So, and perspective, dude. I mean, it's just been a long year, quite honestly. But
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
that just means that the time you get to spend with family, that's the real meaning of Christmas right there. More so than just presents. It's creating those traditions and all that. And one of the things that we as parents got to realize when your children remember and they're getting old, like mine are getting old, when your kids remember Christmas and they remember the magic of Christmas, you know who was the one that gave them that? You did. It was
Mhm.
you. It was your wife,
Yeah.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
man. You all
Yeah.
are the ones that created that for them. You created those memories for them. So when you're with your families this Christmas season, make sure you enjoy it because at the end of the day, that's the one thing that you can never get back is time with family, man. So we're going to talk about our
Yeah.
family traditions, and one of those that's
Yeah.
important here in San Anto is the tamales, bro. So
Oh yeah.
Mario brought up a good topic of discussion. He says, "Hey
Mhm.
Rick, are the tamales in Cali any good? Let us know."
So I'll tell you this, man. And so Cali. So there's this big discussion all the time about Texas, like Tex-Mex versus Cali Mexican food, and right, this whole
Different.
back and forth, right? It's different, right? It's like the Whataburger versus In-N-Out debate. You know what I mean? Like it's Cali, Texas, bro. It's
It's
Hollywood.
Tex-Mex here,
Yeah,
Cali's
yeah,
different though,
exactly,
man.
exactly. It's Hollywood versus the Alamo, bro. It's everything. And Cali, excuse me. Cali and Texas are just they're so different, but they're so alike in a way. And I've been blessed. I've been so blessed to grow up in San Antonio, born and raised, Exit 7, puro pinche Marbach, for 18 years, bro. I never left my neighborhood, right? The first time I got on an airplane was to come to Marine Corps boot camp in San Diego. And I started second guessing my decision when I first landed. When I first got off that bus and that Marine Corps drill instructor got in my face, dog, I was like, "What am I doing?" You know.
Yeah.
So I've been in Cali since 2014. I've lived out here in SoCal, so I've been blessed to have the best of both worlds. I'm Texas, but I've been out here in Cali. Sometimes people want to disown me in Texas because I tell them, and I love Cali, bro. I really do. Um, it's hard not to love Cali, bro. The weather, the beach, the women. I'm 10 minutes from the beach, bro. I can go have coffee in the beach. So it's hard not to love Cali, SoCal, especially Oceanside, San Diego area. LA's a vibe. I would never want to live in LA, but I love going up there and hanging out and having a good time. But again, I'm puro through and through. I love San Antonio. I was in San Antonio a lot this year. Talking about trials and tribulations, I got out of a relationship this year, a long relationship that is very storied and people know about on social media because I put it out there. So no
Hey,
harm
but
there.
since you've left
But
that relationship, what
but since
happened
I
with the
left
Spurs?
that,
Well,
yeah,
what
you know
happened?
what? Oh, bro, the Spurs have been rolling since I left that relationship. I will say that. I will say
Uh,
that. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if it has anything to do with it or
eh,
not. But they have been rolling since I left that relationship. So that's true. So
yeah.
relationships and you know, again, in the holiday season spirit, no shade to her, man. I hope she's doing well. Real talk, I
Yeah.
really do.
We just having
I
fun,
wish her
bro.
the
We
best.
just
Yeah,
having
yeah, we're just
fun,
having fun.
man.
Exactly,
Come
we're
on.
having fun, bro. Real talk, we're having fun. But at the end of the day, man, I do wish her well. I really do. I hope her
Yeah.
and her family are doing well. And then new relationships come on. You know, that's the way it goes, man. That's the evolution of life, right? You get new relationships. I've had some fun couple of months with Myra. You know, we have a good time
Yeah.
together. You know, and again, I'm blessed with my boys, my son, my three sons, my ex-wife. You know, again, my ex-wife Christina and I have a great relationship. We get along, so things are great. Life is good. But again, all that to say, back to the story, the question at hand.
Tamales.
You know what? You know what I will say about the tamales. In Cali, they're bigger, bro. They're like three times our size tamales,
Like a
right? You
burrito?
know, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like here in Cali, they're all about burritos, right? They're like
Yeah.
breakfast burritos. Like they don't do breakfast tacos. They don't do bean and cheese. They don't do carne guisada. They don't know what guisada is. If you talk
Yeah.
about asking for carne, and if you've been to Cali, you know what I'm talking about. If you ask for carne guisada, they're like asada. Like, no. It's like asada, but with the gravy, and they have no idea what you're talking about. So no guisada, no bean and cheese tacos, no bacon and egg, none of that stuff.
No
So
tacos al
here though,
pastor, nada.
yeah, well, no, they do tacos al pastor and all that, but just not like breakfast tacos, right? So they
Okay.
do like el pastor, they do like they do like street tacos and all that, right? But for the tamales, yeah, they're big, bro. I will say that they're huge. They're bigger than like our. I feel like our
Gigante.
tamales. Yeah, our tamales. You know, you go to Delicious or you make them, whatever. You
Yeah.
have those. You know, you have a big thing of small tamales, and you're just knocking them down, bro. You're knocking a handful of them down. Whereas here in Cali, the tacos are big, right? And they put like the salsa red or the salsa verde and all that kind of stuff. So they're different. I prefer tacos from or tamales from Texas, right? I prefer our, you know, just traditional, you know, beef, you know, jalapeno and bean and cheese and all that kind of stuff. Even though they're smaller, I prefer those tamales. They're less masa, you know. Here, even
Yeah.
though they're big, they're a lot of masa. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is like
The
fuckload of
masa to
masa.
carne ratio.
Yeah, exactly, right. So there's a
Yeah.
bunch of masa in the Cali tamales. So
You
I
know,
say my answer though, real quick, Joe. I'm sorry, is the Texas, the San Antonio specific tamales are the best. I fly out delicious tamales to Cali every
you
Christmas.
find out a
Every
10 or
Christmas,
what?
I no, oh hell no, dude. Oh yeah, 10, yeah, a bunch, a whole bunch.
Yeah,
I thought you
the
said
10.
10. I like, oh, I thought you said 10. I was like, bro,
No.
10, bro. Like,
The 10, the
bro, the
10. Yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yes, the 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have them shipped out here to Cali. It's crazy, dude. They send it in with like the black ice and everything, right? Because
Yep.
they keep it all packed and everything. Yeah, dude. So every year, and don't ask me how much it costs. Please don't ask
That's
me
a
because
lot, dude.
it's a pretty penny, bro. Like the shipping is more than what the tamales cost themselves. But it gives our family once a year that San Antonio tamale for Christmas. You know, I remember my mom and my grandma making those tamales. So we do it, right? So yeah, every year we
Yeah.
ship out delicious tamales. So.
So what I was gonna say is that I've tried the different tamales that they have, right? So Ruben's tamales, my dad lives just down the street. I can walk there,
Oh,
dude.
I love
Real talk.
Rubens. Yeah.
It's all right.
Mhm.
You know, I've had them
Mhm.
before. They all right. Delicious tamales, right around the corner from me. I could walk there too. It's so close. Delicious tamales. It's right there by the bakery and all that, you know?
Mhm.
And that's where I get my tamales from because it's right
Mhm.
around the corner. I go in there, I know what I want. I want some pork or whatever the family wants, I get them.
Mhm.
They're all right. They're good. They get the job done,
Mhm.
bro. I mean, it's
Mhm.
a tamale.
Yeah.
HEB. I've had the
Yeah.
HEB tamales, right? Mi tienda. They all right.
Mhm.
You know, they had lady walking around HEB, you know what I mean. Everybody that's
You
puro
know what
here,
it
they
is.
know.
You know what it
You
is.
know what
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
She walking around, tamales, you know, walking
Yeah.
around the store with the ice chest. You can get the tamales hot and fresh right there. They all right. You know, they all right. Then you have other tamales, bro. You got them Bill Miller's tamales, and that's the one that's sneaky, dude. That's sneaky right
Yeah.
there, bro. Sneaky links with the Bill Miller's tamales.
Oh yeah.
People
Oh yeah.
discounting Bill Miller
Sneaky
tamales
link,
que
bro.
no valen
Yeah.
verga. It's not a
Yeah.
real. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
When it comes to flavor, bro, I'm gonna tell you, man,
Yeah.
that they ain't bad. They ain't bad, you
Yeah.
know, and the
I like
price
that you
ain't bad
said that.
either.
I like that you said that, Joe. I like that you said that, bro, because shout out to Bill Miller. And that's a good I like that you said that because you know what? When it comes to tamales, when it comes to breakfast tacos, we all know that there's taquerias and we all know all those. That's like our main girl, right? That's our main.
Yeah,
Bill Miller, a little side piece. You know what I'm saying? Bill
yeah.
Miller's a little
The
side
sneaky
piece
links, bro.
that sneaky link. Yeah, Bill Miller's a little sneaky link side piece that is always there. It's all reliable, bro. Right? It's all
Yeah.
reliable, right? Bill Miller, that's that sneaky link. She be reliable. She be reliable. Your main sometimes be like,
They let you
whatever.
down
Nah,
sometimes, bro.
bro.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that. Nah, you hit that sneaky link, dog. You hit that side piece. She reliable. She reliable. So Bill Miller is definitely reliable. Um, but yeah, man. Oh no, don't Mario Cavazos. Don't get me started on ketchup on tamales. Please
No,
don't.
bro.
Please don't.
No.
You're right. Mario Cavazos is right. It's a failure, bro. It's a failure, bro. I'm sorry, dude. I can't F with people who do
Ketchup on
ketchup on
tamales.
tamales, bro. Like that's bro, you are like there's
Okay.
there's
Look at
there's a
Mario.
I mean I think the only thing that I hate more than that is Yolanda Saldivar, bro. You know what I mean,
No.
bro? Like there's not much more that I hate more than ketchup on tamales. Yolanda, it might be on that list,
Look at
but
what Mario says. He says to him, it's Delias and then Teles. All right. All right.
I
Delias
fuck with
isn't bad. And
Delias.
I've had them both. They've had them
Yeah,
both. They're all right. But I
I
tell you,
fuck with
man,
Delias.
you can't discount that Bill Miller's tamales, bro. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying,
Yeah.
dude.
Mhm.
If I got
Oh
a
no.
comparison and I got the Bill Miller's
Yeah.
tamale and I blindfolded you and I got the ones from
Yeah.
Mi Tienda from the HEB right up, right in hot,
Yeah.
right out of the freaking ice chest, right?
Oh
The,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
HEB lady selling. And I said, here you
Mhm.
go. Boom, boom. Take a taste of one and then the other. I bet you 9 times out of 10, I bet you're gonna be like, I like the one on the left, and that's gonna be the Bill Millers. That'll be the Bill
You know what?
Millers.
That's what we need to have. We need to have a blind taste test, right? A blind tamale taste test with a Bill Miller, with a Delias, with whoever. And like you said, you
HEB,
don't know where HEB,
delicious
you don't know which is
tamale,
which. All these people
Rubens.
talking, all these people talking smack about Bill Miller, dog. Let's see if you could tell. We'll do the Pepsi challenge any day of the week. Raider Paul
There's
says,
no
Spanish,
labels or nothing. Aquí está
no
la
labels.
tamale.
Yeah, no
Just take a
labels.
little bite.
Exactly.
We already know where they came from.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Real quick, Raiders saying that I'm gonna miss the San Antonio championship. No, I'm not, big dog. You don't know me, dog. I'm in San Antonio all the time, bro. If San Antonio is a quick flight away, bro, trust you me. I've been to San Antonio more times than I can count this year. But
And look at
yeah,
this. What
man.
Raider Paul is saying. He says his tias make homemade big and stuff. West Side San Anto, man. That's
Hey,
puro
there
right
you
there, bro.
go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
Look,
with that.
this is heresy. Hey, man, I'm
Anything wrong
saying,
with that.
dude, like if somebody blindfolded you and you did
Yeah.
not know that was a Bill Miller's tamale, you're gonna
Yeah.
real talk. You're gonna be like, you know what? It ain't bad. It tastes pretty
Yeah.
damn good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, July 9326 says Rick lives at anything for Selena's lifestyle. Exactly, bro. Exactly. There's very few things that are worse in San
La reina.
Antonio, bro. Like I said, but uh Yolanda putting ketchup on tamales, like, come on, bro. Those are all, Zaza, things like that, bro. Those are all Kawhi. Those are all things that are bad for San Antonio, bro. And ketchup on tamales is on the top of that list, dog. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, but I can't. Like I said, man. To me, the one things that you can't go wrong with in San Antonio, like there's a battle, right? A heated battle when it comes to conchas and it comes to tamales, bro. Like people get into fights over this stuff. Oh, only buy mine from a
Yeah.
certain bakery. I only like them
Mhm.
from here. I only like them from there. You know what, man? You had at the HEB, bro, and sometimes don't you even got to lie, bro. Everyone's had the HEB tamale. Everyone's
Mhm.
had the HEB concha. And they ain't
Yeah.
bad. That's what I'm saying. It gets the job done. You're there already. I mean, saves you a trip. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you're looking to get something that's a specialty, of course you're not going to get it from HEB. You're going to go somewhere else. But
Yeah,
HEB
yeah.
does gets the
It's a
job
quick
done.
fix, bro.
Yeah.
Well, bro, again, bro, we just gave the analogy. HEB
Yeah.
and Bill Miller, they're the side chick, dog. They're not your wife, dog. They're not your wife, okay? The tamale lady, the delicious, though, that's your wife. That's
Yeah.
wifey, bro. That's your wifey, bro. That's
You make a
wifey.
special
That's
trip for
that
that. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's wifey. That's all that. Hey, I'm surprised Myra hasn't joined this yet, but
Oh my God, dude.
when you got wifey, you got your main one, and then you got your little
101.
side piece. You got your side piece that every once in a while, bro. Hey, they get the job done, bro. They
Yeah,
get the
the wife
job done,
tells you
bro.
no. That's when the side piece comes in
Exactly,
clutch, bro.
exactly. The wife, yeah, exactly. The wifey says, "I got a headache." Like, Nah, bro.
It's all right.
A side chick is there like that, bro. Like
Got the
that,
speed
bro.
dial right here.
Bro. Real
Boom.
talk. Side chick. Side piece don't never have a headache, dog. Don't never don't.
Woo.
Okay. Hey, Myra's in the chat. She said, "I'm
Oh
letting
no.
you finish." Exactly. Hey, I'm
I will
just
let you
saying.
finish. I will let
I'm
you
just
finish.
saying. Listen. We're talking about
Uh,
tamales here, okay? Right? And I'm using an analogy about you got some tamales that are A1, bro. You're number one. They're everything to
She's
you,
gonna
right?
tell
They're
me, Joe,
everything.
cut him off. She's gonna say, cut him
Yeah,
off.
I know. There's certain tamales that are everything. There's certain tamales that you wake up in the morning and you talk to them and you talk to them all day and you talk to them all night, right? There's certain tamales that you do that. Then there's some tamales that, hey,
Oh
might be
no,
your
bro.
side piece, might be your go-to whenever there's,
You
some,
want a little bit different flavor, bro. You want a different flavor, you know? I mean,
Hey,
come on.
they ain't the best, dog. The side look, hey, that number one tamale, take honor in knowing that they're the number one tamale, bro. That's number one, bro. That's baby girl. That's wifey. You know what I'm
They can't
saying?
all be starters, bro. But you know
Hey,
what? You coming
but
off the bench, girl. Your
sometimes,
number's been called.
that Bill Miller and that Bill Miller tamale, bro. It's a side piece, bro. It's a side chick, bro. It
Hey,
gets the job done.
Myra, man, she don't know, bro. She don't want to hang out with us, dude.
No, she
We'd be
does.
too
She
much.
does. She
We'd be too much for
no,
her, bro.
no. She cool. She cool. She gets it. She
I'm just
gets it.
saying, we get in
That's why
trouble, bro.
she's.
We get in
Oh, of
trouble.
course. Oh, of course. I mean, we're always getting in trouble. Like I already know that. Like
We get a few drinks
I
in
already.
us, and we start
Oh,
talking mamadas, dude. She's gonna get mad,
bro.
dude.
Oh, of course. We already know what it is, dog. Like, we know what it is. It's we
Don't
always in trouble,
encourage this
bro.
girl.
Yeah, exactly. We always in trouble, dog. So it ain't nothing but a thing, dog. But you know what? But man, like I said, man, it's been a blessed year. As tough as it's been for everybody, and we talked about this in prior shows. Sometimes, man, the holidays, as much as we have fun and we have a good time and drink and all that, and you got to remember, man, some people are kind of going through it. Some people are going
Of
through it this
course,
holiday
man.
season. So we laugh and joke, and it's all fun and jokes here, and we love that. But and I'm not trying to get too down, but you got to remember, man, there's some people who are
Check on your people.
having a rough time this holiday season, right? Christmas, New Year's, always spurs thoughts and kind of like memories about
Yep.
past lost loved ones and just things that you've been through. So you gotta make sure in the craziness of having fun and doing you, you got to make sure that Myra says check on your side pieces to make sure they feel loved.
Hey, man, you got to make sure they taken care of
You
too,
gotta check
man.
on your
Give them a
side
little
pieces
present,
too.
bro.
Yeah. Side pieces probably have it the worst this year because they're like, damn, man, my guy's with his main, he's with his main one right now. He's with his family, he's with his kids, he's out opening presents, and the side piece is just sitting there like, fuck, hopefully I get a call tomorrow. Like,
She
I
wait
don't
for her
know.
present too,
Like,
bro.
yeah, exactly. She wait, yeah, exactly. So that's a good point, Myra. Side pieces have it rough this time of year.
Check on your side piece.
So yeah, exactly.
Mira. Myra got jokes. You got
Oh,
jokes,
Myra
girl.
got
You got
jokes.
jokes.
Dude, Myra got jokes. Myra's pretty quick with the jokes. I'll give you that. I like that about her. I like that about her.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, but no, real talk. Check on your people. People are going through it. Make sure everybody's good because sometimes there's some people who are feeling lonely this time of year or kind of going through it or whatever the case may be. And I'm not like an emotional guy. I try not to get all sensitive about because people talk all a bunch of crap and act like big shits and I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. Then they try to
Yeah.
get all emotional and be like, oh, like I need help. Like, nah, bro. Like I don't really do that normally, and I don't need help. I'm just saying, like, make sure your people that you that might be going through it in your life, like make sure they're good, make sure they're
Yeah.
they're they're okay. But
I'm just
yeah.
saying, dude. I think it would be too much for Myra at the same time, just drinking or whatever, talking pendejada. She'd be like, I'm out. she could
Yeah,
get mad,
yeah.
bro. I said, we're just
Yeah.
having fun. That's all we do. We're just having fun, man.
No, she's good. She'll have her little side eye, she'll have her little comments, but she'll stay there. She'll stay there with daddy. She'll stay there with daddy. She knows her place. She knows her place. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
my god. I'll join you.
she is out. Exactly. That's what I
Oh
like about
man.
her. That's what I like
She
about
be
her.
laughing, dude. She'll be laughing. She'll be
She'll
laughing,
talk.
dude.
Hey,
No doubt.
she'll give it just as good. Trust you me, bro.
Yeah.
She'll give the trash talking just as good as any of the guys. Trust me,
There
she
you
will.
go. I like that
So
then,
I
man.
like
She'll
that.
fit right
Exactly.
in.
I
She'll
like
fit
that.
right in.
Exactly. So hey, January 28th, Spurs and Rockets in Houston. I know somebody already in the chat said they'll be there. They'll bring the drum. Like, hey, I'll be there, bro. The bell will be
Make it
there.
happen.
Let's do it. Let's Myra and I will be there January 28th,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited. Man. I
Ain't
haven't
that
been to a game in
something, dude?
Houston in a while.
They're gonna let you walk in with the belt in
We'll
Dallas
see.
and walk in with the
Dallas
belt
let
in
me.
Houston.
Yeah, if Dallas and Houston let me in, bro, it's all in Texas, bro. I'm telling you, man, it might be blue states, bro. I don't know. I don't try to get political, but it might be blue states that got a problem with me and my belt, dog. Because
LA,
Cali didn't let me. Yeah, Cali, LA
Vegas.
didn't let me. Vegas did let me. Phoenix didn't let me. LA didn't let me. So, but nah, man. Houston, bro, January 28th, flights bought, Airbnb's bought. Myra and I are gonna have a good time. I'll be there at the game. I'll see if I can get the
Maybe
belt
Miguelito
in.
will join you.
If anyone's there, man, first shot on me. Like let's do it, man. Let's get a good. Some of the Jackals said they would come out there. Like it's Houston, bro. It ain't that far, dog. It's a quick little ride. So
Yeah.
Joe might have to plan something, bro. He might have to get. I
Either
know
that,
it's
if I
hard for
don't
you to
make
get
it,
out
I'll
of
send
work.
you some feria, dude, so you can get some drinks on me.
Oh,
You and
always
Myra.
do. You know what, man? You always do, man. And that's something like I
Yeah.
never talk about it on the show. And I know Joe doesn't want any kind of recognition, but it's crazy. Like Joe will always be doing that. Like I'll be in Vegas or I'll be somewhere repping Area 210 podcast. And Joe be just hitting my cash app, my Venmo, talking about, hey man, I got drinks on you. And like I really appreciate that, Joe. I really
Yeah,
do, man.
man.
Because those are little gestures, man, that go a long way, man. And and you don't need to do that, bro, and all that. But like, and I tell you, man, like Joe, don't send me no money, but you don't take no, you don't take no for an answer,
Yeah,
bro. So you just, and I appreciate that, man. I really do.
of
And
course.
those are little gestures that go a long way, man. So I know Joe don't like to be he don't want to have any kind of praise or accolades. Joe be behind the scenes, man, but Joe be doing a lot. Joe be doing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
yeah,
Because I mean, I
ish.
would do that
Yeah,
here when you're here with me. Like if
yeah,
we're going out
exactly.
to a game or whatever, I'd be like, hey, dog, what do you want to drink? I got you, man. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Ishigo said they're gonna be there. So yeah, man, let's do it. I'll be there. You can bring the drum. I'll bring the belt. I got drinks on me. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Joe. Even if he ain't there, he'll be there. Help. Representing. So it'd be cool if you went and rode out there though, Joe. It's
Yeah.
a weekday. It's a weekday, and I know it's hard for you to get away on a week, but
That's the thing, man.
I know. It's like a Wednesday or something like that, which
Yeah.
it kind of sucks. But I mean, but I'll be there that through that whole weekend. So.
Jeez.
I'll be in Houston that whole weekend. So
When are you gonna leave on Houston that weekend? You gonna leave on
Monday,
Sunday
that
or what?
Monday. No, the
Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
That next Monday. Yep.
Maybe
Like
I'll
go
pull up
go.
on the weekend then, dude.
Yeah, you should because yeah, man, we're gonna be there. Like I said, I'll get there Wednesday and I don't leave
Yeah.
till that next Monday. So
Maybe I stay over there. I tell Mike and Chica, make room for +1.
yeah.
So get the
Yeah.
guest room ready for me, man.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Tell Mike to, man, that would be cool to have the whole Area 210 podcast, dog. Me, you, and Mike there.
yeah. Cool thing about Houston también is like my the suegra, right?
Yeah.
Father-in-law and all them. My son-in-law's family lives there, right?
Yeah.
His parents are there, and they own a Mexican restaurant there, dude.
Oh
So
wow, cool. Oh
yeah,
wow, that'd be
I
cool.
got the hookup,
Yeah.
man. I'm family,
Oh,
bro. They
bro,
take care
say
of me.
less, bro. Say
You know?
less, bro. Say less, bro. Say less, man. Let's do it. I think we should take over Houston. It should go. Yep. Show Houston how to stack the cups. Fucking Mario Cavazos. He said, "Hey, real question. How much younger are the women you date?" Asking because you never know. They're legal. Okay, they're legal. Okay, I'll give you that, bro. They're legal.
Do they
As
remember
long
the
as they're legal.
hemisphere?
As long as as long as they're legal, they're legal of age, bro. They're good. Okay, they're good.
Yeah. It's like it's all good, dude. It's all good. Hey, but we're gonna have to go to bring the show to an end. I gotta go back to work, dude. It's gonna be a rough
Yeah,
one, dude. I'm tired, dude. This is the thing,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Real talk. In order for me to do this show, I gotta get up like at 7:30, 8 o'clock,
I know.
and prep for the show.
People don't realize what you got to do to prep, bro. Yeah, yeah,
And then on top of that, then I gotta go and start my real job after I'm done with the show. Then I go and start my real job, and I don't get out till
yeah,
like 9:30, sometimes 10, 11.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
even after that, sometimes there's still work I gotta do. So then I get sent to the federal building. Like when I get
yeah,
out, they're like, hey, we need you to do this because we got something popping off. So then when I'm done here, then I gotta go to the federal building over there and I
yeah,
gotta do my thing over there. And sometimes I don't get home till like 2, 3 in the morning. But you know what? I'm up the next day. I'm ready to go, baby. Let's do
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah.
there ain't
Yeah.
no days off sometimes. Like if you want something bad enough, you're gonna find ways to do it, man. And I enjoy doing the show for you all. You all enjoy interacting with us. So, as long as everybody's having a good time, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
true, bro. That's true, and we appreciate you, Joe. We appreciate everything. Joe, are you gonna have what's the schedule this week? Let people in the chat
Oh,
know.
we're gonna do one more
No,
show before we go ahead and
Friday.
end the new year. We're gonna do one on
Okay.
Friday, baby. Let's get it
Okay. You're
done.
gonna do a show on Friday. Okay.
Oh
Cool.
yeah,
So
definitely.
no show tomorrow, Christmas Day, obviously. Right. Everybody gonna enjoy
Yep.
their families and all that. So
But
you're
we're
gonna
gonna
do
blow
another
out
show
the
on
year on
Friday.
Friday, bro. That's gonna be the
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Might
So
have to
show
be
on
drinking
Friday.
with you on Friday, dude.
Let's do it. Hell yeah. Let's fine. Let's do it.
Bust out
If
the
we get
bottle, you know?
bust it up, bro. You and Miguelito, bro. Let's all do it. Let's do a drunk
Do a
Friday
little
show,
drink.
bro. To 2025, man.
Yeah.
Here's to a great but maybe tumultuous year for some, but at the end of the day, it's still a great year, bro. If you're waking up and breathing air, that's a great
That's
day,
all
bro.
you
That's a
that
beautiful
you
day, bro.
blessed. You
That's
blessed. As long as
exactly
you're
you
alive, you
blessed. You
blessed.
blessed.
Go out
Exactly,
there,
bro.
be good, be a good human, you know?
Exactly, bro. So yeah, man, that'd be cool. Um, yeah, let's we'll be back on Friday. And then we'll ring in the new year, man. And man, 2026, Joe. It's coming. It's coming.
It's
It's
coming,
coming
dude.
fast. It's coming
You
fast.
know
I
what?
think
I got a good
a lot
feeling
of
about it. You got a
that's what I
good
was just
feeling
gonna
about
say. You
2026.
know what? I was just gonna say. I was like, I think 2025 might have been rough for a lot of us, a lot of
Yeah.
people, whatever personal stuff he had going on. But I think 2026 is gonna look up for a lot of us and a lot of our listeners. And I hope even everybody in the chat and everybody that supports our show. I wish you nothing but blessings and happiness in 2026, man. Real talk. So make it
Yeah.
a good year, man. Make it a good one. So
Look at Mario Cavazos. I'll go to the studio, Joe. I'll join you. You know what? If you want to
there
come
you
by the
go.
studio on
Come.
Friday,
Oh,
Mario,
there you go.
vente, bro. It's open. The bottle will be flowing.
Oh, bro,
Vamos.
that would be a party, dog. I remember, one we saw a fight together, me, you, Mario, and some other folks. Um, someone else that I won't mention, but well, we had a good time. We had a good time, man. I remember we saw that fight with Mario. Mario's a good dude, man. He's 100. He's a real G. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool to have Mario on the show.
On the show.
Um,
Come on.
yeah,
For real, Mario. Come on. Come on. I got you, bro. Let's have some fun tomorrow, dude. I'll send you the Addy, dude, so you can join, man.
yeah. Saturday or Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah. We'll do it on Friday, dude. We'll have a lot of
Well,
fun, dude.
real quick before we leave here, like, so I'm sitting outside of my backyard and I can see my living room. My son is watching the highlights or the replay of the Spurs Thunder game from last night. So he's sitting there watching it, like, which is pretty awesome. So I look
Yeah.
over and I'm like, man, my son literally is watching the Spurs Thunder game again on League Pass,
Man
because you can see
after
the
my own
replays
heart,
and all
dude.
that. Because yeah, exactly.
That's what I
Yeah,
do sometimes too. Like I'll be at work, right? And I'll be working and I'm a glutton for punishment because I'll watch the
yeah,
replay of the game,
okay,
whether they win or lose. And I'm out there analyzing the game, and I'm like, man, if
yeah,
only they would have done this on this player. Look at that, dude.
yeah,
What a heck of a
yeah,
play. Looking at the footwork, looking at how they were able to pass the ball, ISO plays, all that kind of stuff. I'm
yeah.
looking out there and just a steward of the game. You enjoy it,
Yeah, yeah.
just like boxing, dude. Even after
Yes.
that boxing match, I'll go
Oh,
and watch it
bro.
again, dude, because I want to
Bro,
look for the little things that I missed before.
I watch, what I do at night, bro, when I'm going to sleep, bro, I will just get on YouTube or get on wherever and put on like old fights, like from the night,
Yep.
not old, but from like the 90s and 2000s and whatever. And like it's in my background, dude.
Rewatch.
And I just have it on there and I'm watching it. And I've seen the fight a million times, but like you said,
Yeah.
like I love to watch them again and be like, oh, okay, like I missed something, So
Yeah.
I'll watch boxing, old fights, and I have them in my background, and I fall asleep. Just it's like seeping into my head, in my
White noise.
subconscious, like but exactly. But so I tell people, man, I'm like, man, like, and it's so cool because like now my sons who are 28 and 25, my older sons, and then my youngest is 18. But my older two boys, they're really into boxing now, and they'll start talking to me about boxing. They start asking me stuff, and I'm like, bro, I forgot more than most people know about boxing. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I've literally watched some fights, and I'm like, damn, bro, I forgot about this one. Real, I'll be honest. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just because I've seen so much, and we know, and I love that sport. But it goes back to it's memories, man. When my sons remember when they were little. Like I said, they'll be like, "Oh, I remember watching, Fernando Vargas when I was a
Hmm.
little kid, and you would watch it, like stuff like that. Early Floyd Mayweather. Um,
That's something we got in common because my sons like watching boxing with me. So when we watch the boxing matches, we watch them together,
yeah,
right? So even like UFC matches, my son's into UFC too,
yeah, yeah,
and he likes watching fights with dad. Even the younger one, he got into it too. So
yeah.
he knows he likes boxing more. So when it's a boxing match and it's a good one, they're locked in. And it's nothing better than watching the fights with your boys. It's a
Oh, bro, nothing, bro,
father-son bonding
nothing.
thing.
It
It's,
is. It
it's good,
really
man.
is,
It's
bro.
perfect,
It
dude. Like
really is. It really
everything
is,
right with the world when you're with your sons and
Yeah.
you're just watching the
Oh,
game
yeah.
or you're watching
Yeah.
the fights.
No,
Yeah,
it
real
really is,
talk,
bro.
dude.
It really
Bless,
is. There's
you know what I
nothing.
mean?
There's nothing. Yeah, no, it is, bro. Everything. It's just because there were like again, my dad was in and out of my life, but when I was younger, my dad, when he was around, the earliest memories were Chavez fights, Chavez senior
Yeah,
fights. We would we would we would go and watch the Chavez fights when he fought Greg Hagen, when he fought Pernell Whitaker in San Antonio. We were there.
great fights.
We were there in the Alamo Dome, bro, in the nosebleed seats, bro. Binoculars, dog. I had binoculars, dog, trying to watch. And we only had one binocular. We all passed it around. We didn't have enough money to have multiple binoculars. So we were in the nosebleed with one binocular, bro. Everybody looking, right, to see Chavez Whitaker in San Antonio, 1993. But I was 9, 10 years old. And those are memories, man. Those are memories and again, going back to our theme about Christmas and our holiday season is like you
Yeah.
got to make these memories with your kids, man. You got to make these memories with your sons and daughters, your loved ones, wife, girlfriend, whoever, because you don't know when these times are gonna end. There's
Yeah.
the saying that says, I wish I knew I was in the good times before they ended. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
one thing you
realize that
can't
these
buy
were the good
and more
times.
of is time. So remember
Yeah,
that the time that you get to spend
yeah.
with your loved ones, especially during the holidays, make it count. Go out there, tell everybody you love them, hug them,
Hmm.
because they can be gone tomorrow. So
Hmm.
I know all that all too well. So make
Hmm.
the most out of the holiday season. Like I said, it ain't about them gifts under the tree. It's about the people you got standing in front of you. So make it count. All right, man. We're gonna have to go ahead and end the show on that note.
All right, bro.
We'll be
Yep.
back on Friday. So we're gonna have maybe Mario on the studio. We'll have Rick on as
Yeah.
well.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a party. It's gonna be a
we're gonna
party,
send it
baby.
off.
It's gonna Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, stay puro.
Yeah, man. We'll see you all on Friday. Have a good one. And Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll see you. We're out. Peace.